Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, a spiritual user manual for life. This channel is dedicated to reading, unpacking, and analyzing the text section of the book, A Course in Miracles. The objective is to extract valuable, practical knowledge to help us live more fulfilling lives while learning this school's curriculum. The sparkly version of the book is used. Knowledge is also drawn from the Seth books of Jane Roberts. To distinguish between the text and my commentary, the word text will precede the text. The word comments will precede the commentary. Note, as per the course, the voice of the text is that of Jesus. This video is for the section in Chapter 2, Healing as Release from Fear. It covers the first 7 paragraphs. Before we begin, a recap of what's been covered so far in the book. This earth that we live on is a school, a reincarnation school to be exact. As with all schools, it has a curriculum. It covers the basics of ourselves, such as the laws of creation, the mind and its workings, the power and function of thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and more, necessary on our journey of becoming co-creators. The body, our bodies, is a learning tool to facilitate our time in the school. Projection is how the mind creates, manifests its contents into reality. In doing so, it does not distinguish between good, bad, evil, right or wrong. Learning that is part of the curriculum. Over time, we allowed all sorts of distortions, lies, misinformation, disinformation, and more to enter our minds and take deep roots. This resulted in numerous miscreations, many with disastrous effects. We got so off track that our spiritual guardians had to make several intercessions before finally arriving on a fail-safe plan, the atonement, to undo the damage and get us back on track. This plan is based on love and uses miracles, acts of love, as the means for its fulfillment. Though voluntary, everyone will eventually adopt it, for it guarantees success. Several defenses are provided to deal with the many challenges inherent in the miscreations. The golden rule is stated as fundamental for all relations. The correct ordering of our levels are: the body serves the mind, which serves the soul. Fear, the result of miscreations, is the cause of all illness. A Course in Miracles is the instruction manual for the atonement plan. The Seth books of Jane Roberts complements the course, while also providing advanced knowledge beyond the course. A viewing of the videos of the channel will be helpful. This section, Healing as Release from Fear, provides more insight into the relationship and functions of the body, mind, and soul. Corrective healing actions for miscreations, and how to help others in the process. Let's begin. Text. Healing as Release from Fear, Part A. The emphasis will now be on healing. The miracle is the means. The atonement is the principle, and healing is the result. Those who speak of a miracle of healing are combining two orders of reality inappropriately. Healing is not a miracle. The atonement, or the final miracle, is a remedy, while any type of healing is a result. The kind of error to which atonement is applied is irrelevant. Essentially, all healing is the release from fear. To undertake this, you cannot be fearful yourself. You do not understand healing because of your own fear. A major step in the atonement plan is to undo error at all levels. Illness, which is really not right-mindedness, is the result of level confusion, in the sense that it always entails the belief that what is amiss in one level can adversely affect another. We have constantly referred to miracles as the means of correcting level confusion, and all mistakes must be corrected at the level on which they occur. Only the mind is capable of error. The body can act erroneously, but this is only because it is responding to misthought. The body cannot create, and the belief that it can, a fundamental error, produces all physical symptoms. Comments. Here's a radical idea with major implications. The mind is the true source of illness, not the body. Only the symptoms or effects are experienced in the body, which is how it responds to these misthoughts of the mind. If this is true, then it undermines the foundation on which modern medicine is based. But it does not stop there. Here's some areas of modern society that would be affected: the food industry, diet and exercise, aging, higher education, the medical-industrial complex, government policies. Many will not be willing to entertain the validity of this idea, as it would threaten their vested interests, but it deserves some consideration. Telekinesis, astral travel, deep trance meditation, remote viewing, and energy healing are methods that manipulate matter. Life after death, whether it be reincarnation, heaven or hell, transcends matter. Together, they support the Course's assertion that the mind has dominion over matter, including the body. Sounds convincing? More food for thought. Text. All physical illness represents a belief in magic. The whole distortion which created magic rests on the belief that there is a creative ability in matter, which the mind cannot control. This error can take two forms. It can be believed that the mind can miscreate in the body, or that the body can miscreate in the mind. If it is understood that the mind, which is the only level of creation, cannot create beyond itself, neither type of confusion need occur. The reason only the mind can create is more obvious than may be immediately apparent. The soul has been created. The body is a learning device for the mind. Learning devices are not lessons in themselves. Their purpose is merely to facilitate the thinking of the learner. The most that a faulty use of a learning device can do is to fail to facilitate learning. It has no power in itself to introduce actual learning errors. Comments. Here's more support for the idea that the ability to create and manipulate matter rests only in the mind, not the body. The body is a learning device, created and manipulated by the mind. Seth states that it is our most immediate and intimate projection, a direct reflection of our mental and emotional states. Again, accepting this as true means whenever we experience discomfort in the body, we should look to our mental and emotional states to identify the cause and cure. This is readily accepted in cases such as anxiety, hypochondria, stress, and phobias. However, for physically entrenched conditions such as cancer, diabetes, illnesses in organs, those associated with aging, and more, the connections are not that apparent nor accepted. More insight is needed. Some individuals have increased consciousness that allows them this insight. Edgar Cayce, Ross Peterson, Louise L. Hay, and Satya Sai Baba were some. Louise L. Hay has several publications on this subject, including a list of mental problems and associated physical symptoms. Still alive is Douglas Cottrell, who has numerous publications and YouTube videos. Keeping an open mind is a good idea. We are on a journey of self-discovery. Text. The body, if properly understood, shares the invulnerability of the atonement to two-edged application. This is not because the body is a miracle, but because it is not inherently open to misinterpretation. The body is merely a fact in human experience. Its abilities can be, and frequently are, over-evaluated. However, it is almost impossible to deny its existence. Those who do so are engaging in a particularly unworthy form of denial. The term unworthy here implies simply that it is not necessary to protect the mind by denying the unmindful. There is little doubt that the mind can miscreate. If one denies this unfortunate aspect of the mind's power, one is also denying the power itself. All material means which man accepts as remedies for bodily ills are merely restatements of magic principles. It was the first level of the error to believe that the body created its own illness. It is a second misstep to attempt to heal it through non-creative agents. It does not follow, however, that the use of these very weak corrective devices are evil. Sometimes the illness has a sufficiently great hold over a mind to render a person inaccessible to atonement. In this case, it may be wise to utilize a compromise approach to mind and body, in which something from the outside is temporarily given healing belief. This is because the last thing that can help the non-right-minded or the sick is an increase in fear. They are already in a fear-weakened state. If they are inappropriately exposed to an undiluted miracle, they may be precipitated into panic. This is particularly likely to occur when upside-down perception has induced the belief that miracles are frightening. Comments. We live in societies that are full of miscreations, fears, and illnesses. Most of us never question why that is or what can be done to get to the root of these problems. We accept them as our everyday reality and just find ways to cope. To Seth and the Course. The cause is due to the widespread lack of awareness and misunderstanding of the laws of creation, the mind, and our Creator's will for us. The mind can only project its contents. Our spiritual guardians are doing what is necessary to help get us out of this predicament. This is the objective of the Atonement Plan, detailed in the Course and the Seth books of Jane Roberts. However, as the expression goes, you can take a horse to the water, but you cannot make it drink. In the meantime, we remain in this compromised, seemingly vulnerable state. But there is hope. At some point, don't know when. We'll begin to tire of our situation and seek a better way until we get to that enlightened state. Modern medicine and science will continue to help us get by. We continue on this path of self-discovery. Some of the ideas presented are new and radically different to what we are familiar with. They take us out of our comfort zone. This is to be expected. Are they valid, verifiable, reliable? From my experiences, they are. However, each of us must come to that realization in our own time and space. Thanks again for joining me on this journey. If you've gotten any value from this video, please like, share, and subscribe. The next video will be Healing as Release from Fear, Part B.